Oh, are we recording? This is Sony's latest mic. Sony sent it to me to test it out, and let me tell you, I tested it out. I use the ECM-M1 in different environments, including a professional client shoot, vlogging, inside, outside, and upside down. You can find all of the specs on the sound quality, frequency response to this mic on Sony's website because a lot of it's just over my head. But I was more interested in how much better it made my audio sound out of my ZV-E10, the A7S III, and my FX30. I'm gonna show you the differences when we're comparing the native audio inside of these cameras to when you actually put a mic on top like this one. If you're interested in some of my favorite features and how this mic works, we're gonna cover all the specs and the technical stuff on the back end of the video. But first, let's cover what, in my opinion, is the most important thing: user experience, sound quality, and compare it to a couple other mics that I have. When you hook it up to your Sony camera, it has 8 recording modes on an intuitive directivity dial. They're super directional for targeting the audio that's in front of you, unidirectional for a broader range, maybe if you're interviewing 2 people, omnidirectional for everything in the room like a round table discussion, super directional or rear facing in case the cameraman wants to chime in, super directional, which is front and rear to hear what's going on in the front and the back, and super directional front rear separate for left and right stereo, stereo for moving objects like cars and trains and B-roll, ultra directional for pinpoint accuracy for whatever is in front of the camera. And that one is my favorite because you can really lock in to the person that's in front of you and not even hear things that are on the outside, or if you do, it's just a little bit. We are filming with the A7S III. I have the microphone off to see what it sounds like in this crowded environment. We got a lot of cars going and things like that, so there's your test. All right, here I'm testing out the new Sony mic with the A7S III to see how it sounds. There's a big crowd all around here. There's a lot of traffic in this downtown area, so I want to see how it sounds compared to when we take the mic off. We're doing an audio test to see what the native audio sounds like out of the A7S III before I throw the new Sony shotgun mic on top of it to see how much more bass my voice might have and also how much more realistic my voice is. Usually I use this type of camera's audio just as a reference so I can input the external audio that I recorded either on a lav mic or maybe a shotgun mic over the top. So now let's see what the new Sony mic sounds like. So this is what it sounds like with the Sony mic on top of the A7S III, so you can have a good idea of how much better the audio sounds, how much more full it sounds. I'm probably 2 feet away from the microphone and I'm holding the camera out at about arm's length.
Oh, yes. Oh, wait, do you promise extraction?
And the second one, I would say the second one is like probably just as good as the first one.
All right, now this is the native audio out of the ZV-E10. We're in a little country store. There's some refrigerator noise in the background. We're doing a mic test with the ZV-E10. I got the new Sony microphone on top, and there's a lot of refrigerator noise in the background, so I want to see how much that cancels out. All right, so this is the kit lens on the ZV-E10 and the native audio out of the camera so we can see what it sounds like, and I'm going to put the microphone on the ZV-E10 so we can see how much better the audio is. Let's do that. And now we put the microphone on the camera, so we're gonna see how much fuller the audio sounds. I got some background stuff going on, and I have the mic set up to super directional so that it's kind of canceling out everything behind the camera and to the left and to the right.
I feel like there are so many more people than I ever remember. I mean, the last time I came here was like 4 years ago, and I just forgot when I was little, but I feel like it's super crowded. And I've been having a lot of fun. The shops are really
Here at the Film Alliance, I think we can all agree that one of the hardest parts about creating a video is finding the right music that perfectly complements the story you are trying to tell. You want it to be perfect, and you want it to carry the viewer seamlessly through the end of the video. Track Club allows you to do this by being able to infinitely customize the stems of any song, muting or soloing instruments, adjusting volume levels, and speeding up or slowing the BPM to match the energy of the video. It gives you a greater level of creative control over your sound, all without leaving your browser. The first step in my creative process is deciding what filters match the vibe I'm going for or a particular part of a video. I've been able to take my videos to a whole new level since I started using Track Club. Try it out for yourself. I'll leave a link in the description for a free 1-month full access trial. It has 4 microphone capsules on top for some great sensitivity, and it does not take any batteries. And according to Sony, it pulls a small amount of power from the camera, but it's insufficient to drain your battery quickly. So don't worry about that. You must use the mic with a Sony camera that has an intelligent hot shoe. The Directivity dial has a lock function in the middle of it like we get with other Sony camera dials, so you don't shimmy the dial out of place by accident. You can suppress the noise floor or the hum in any digital recording by setting the noise cut filter to on. This removes that unpleasant underground noise through digital signal processing. It also has a low cut filter toggle which controls wind, that air conditioning noise, a refrigerator, or mechanical background rumble. It's got an attenuated toggle with 10 to 20 decibels. When you cannot bring your audio levels down with the audio level control, you can attenuate the incoming level so that the levels work in their normal range. If you're in a loud environment, that's when I would attenuate down. That brings us to the back of the mic, which gives you a simple audio level dial. It's a lot easier to use this little dial that you can actually touch with your fingers rather than going through the menu system or the function menu on your camera. On the right, we can switch between analog and digital. If your camera is compatible with the digital audio interface of the multi-interface shoe, set the switch to digital. This allows the unit and the attached camera to communicate with each other with those digital signals and provide audio recording with minimal noise insertion. This mic mounts to the top of the camera with a shock and vibration suppressing design, reducing that low frequency vibration when you say are walking or vlogging. Right from the hot shoe connection, the audio signal is directly transmitted to the camera without any extra wires or Bluetooth connection. It comes with a fur type windscreen that effectively reduces the wind noise in outdoor shooting situations. The older ECM-M1 is 72 grams and this shotgun mic is 65 grams. It doesn't seem like much, but every gram counts, especially when you're doing those long day shoots or you're holding the camera at arm's length for a long period of time. Especially when you compare this mic to the Rode VideoMic Pro, which also needs a 9-volt battery. This mic can simultaneously supply a negative 20 decibel backup recording by different directives in channels 3 and 4 for people who want that redundancy or safety, and it's a suitable reference in case you lose your channels 1 and 2. When we compare this mic to the older ECM-M1 or the VideoMic Pro, it's sharper with its directivity and has a wide and flat frequency response. I find that this mic is great for vloggers and documentary storytellers and a good reference mic when shooting high quality sound. You can see the difference in sound, or I should say you can hear the difference in sound between the native mic inside the camera compared to the audio when the mic is on top. Here's what the native microphone sounds like out of the FX30. We have no attached microphones. This is just the sound that I would normally use just for reference. Here's the 7 rims Mimbo M1 on the Sony FX30. Another downside to having an external microphone like this one is that it has a wire that will come out and go into the mic port, which used to never bother me, but now that I know you can have a mic like the new shotgun mic from Sony put right into the hot shoe of the camera without any external wires, does make it pretty nice so you don't shimmy it out of place by accident. All right, here's the Rode VideoMic Pro on top of the FX30. And one thing to think about too, when you have the Rode VideoMic Pro, it sticks out so far that if you're shooting with a really wide lens that's close to the body of the FX30, then you might see it in the lens. So just something to remember. Here's the Sony mic on top of the Sony FX30 so that we can get a good idea of what it sounds like compared to the other audio sources. If you buy a camera nowadays and you want to do any type of vlogging or storytelling, and I feel like buying a mic like this is just something that you got a budget for. After using this mic for everything that I used it for, I can say that I'm very impressed. Let me know what you think about this mic and if you decide to pick one up and what you're going to use this mic for in the future. I'm Joe with the Film Alliance, and until the next video, have a nice week.